it's me Aditi here with my first video, and today I'm gonna tell you the summary of To Kill a Mockingbird. So basically, To Kill a Mockingbird is an American novel written by Harper Lee, and it is written in 1960, but it is set in 1930s in the small town of Macomb.
It is narrated by Scout Finch, a 6-year-old tomboy who lives with a lawyer father Atticus and a 10-year-old brother Jem. During the novel, Scout, Jem, and their friend Dill try to make their repulsive neighbor Boo Redley leave his house. Boo has not been seen in Maycomb since he was a teenager. Many residents of Maycomb are racist, and during the novel, Atticus is asked to defend Tom Robinson, a black man wrongly accused of raping a white woman. Atticus take on the case even though everyone knows he has a very little hope of winning. Scout and Gemfitch meet 7-year-old Dill, who is spending the summer holidaying with his aunt Raquel in Macomb. Dill become fascinated with the story of Boo Radley, who hasn't been outside his house since committing a schoolboy prank. Scout and Jam has never seen him, and stories in the neighborhood suggest he is now a monster. One night I heard him scratching on the back screen. Dill become obsessed with making Boo Redley comes out, and Jem goes so far as to run into the Redley front yard and touch the side of their house. When summer ends, Dill returns to his hometown of Meridian Scout and starts school for the first time. She had a fight with her teacher, Miss Caroline, and she's angry that Scout already read and write. Miss Caroline feels that Atticus had taught Scout to read too many difficult words from books that are too advanced for him, something which confuses Scout as she's proud of her ability to read. Scout is also in trouble for standing up for the Walter Cunningham when she explained that his family is too poor to accept the teacher's offer of a loan for lunch money. On their way home from school, Jem and Scout begin to find gifts such as gum and old coin left in hole in the oak tree outside the Redley house. They realize that the gifts must be meant for them, but puzzle as to who could have left them. They returns from Meridian for the summer break, and along with the two interacting begins moment with Boo Redley's life. Something which displeases Atticus. I am going to tell you something and tell you one time. Stop tormenting that man. On leaving in a hurry, Jim gets his trousers caught on some wire, and he has to concoct a story in order to keep himself out of trouble. Much later in the night, Jim leaves the house in order to retrieve them. We also met Miss Maury. She's a friend of Atticus and similar to him in that she's tolerant and despises gossip, particularly on the subject of Boo Redley. Author Redley just stays in the house, that's all, said Miss Maury. Wouldn't you stay in the house if you did not want to come out? School begins again, but Scout is still not enjoying herself. Jem suddenly tells Scout that when he retrieved his torn trousers from the Redley fans, he found them roughly sewn and neatly folded as if waiting for him. Usually the winter is particularly cold and it begins to snow. Scout has never seen a snow before, and the children try to build a snowman. That evening, Miss Maury's house catches fire and is completely destroyed. Jem and Scout spend most of the night outside. Scout falls asleep, and when she wakes up, she found Boo Redley, who probably placed it there, and she's angry she missed an opportunity to glimpse him. Hot-headed Scout soon gets into trouble at school for fighting. Celil Jacob teases her, claiming that her father defends black people. Christmas arrives, and so too Atticus' brother Uncle Jack Finch. Christmas Day is spent with Aunt Alexandra and her family. Scout despises her aunt grandson Francis, especially when he teases her about the child. Mockingbirds do nothing but sing for everyone's pleasure, so Atticus feel it is important that they are not purposely harmed in any way. Both Jem and Scout are embarrassed by the fact that Atticus is almost 50. They think he is unable to teach them how to shoot, and he wants them. Shoot all the blue jays you want, if you can't hit them, but remember, it is a sign to kill a mockingbird. Similarly, there are characters in the novel who could also be described as mockingbird's figure. Tom Robinson does nothing but try to help Mayala Earl, but is persecuted, but he is black. Boo Radley is an innocent who takes pleasure in watching Jem and Scout enjoy their outdoor adventures, yet he is persecuted by the town gossip who maintain he is a monster simply because he lives a reclusive lifestyle. Summer arrives, but Dill does not, having decided to stay with his mother and new stepfather. Atticus had to go away, so it is decided that Calpurnia, the Finch maid, will take Scout and Jem to the church she attends on Sunday. Here, the children learn more about Tom Robinson, the man defended by her father, and are given a warm welcome by the congregations. Next, upon their return from the church, Scout and Jem are shocked to find Aunt Alexandra waiting for them. It has been decided that the restless Atticus is busy with the trial. She will help look after them. However, the children soon discover that due to the trial, their lives are about to dramatically change. The sheriff Hactate and a group of men arrive at the Finch house, uneasy about any trouble that may arise as a result of the trial. The following night, Jem, Scout, and Dill follow Atticus into town as they are worried about him. They find him reading outside Maycomb jail, where he is approached by the White gang. Tom Robinson is inside the jail, and the men want to lynch him at any cost. "You know what we want?" another man said. "Get aside from the door, Mr. Finch." When the trial began, the local of Maycomb treat is at holiday. Many people arrive to watch the proceedings. The children know Atticus would not want them to be in court, but decided to sneak in anyway. Revented Sykes give them seat in the blacks only area. The trial is presided over by Judge Taylor, a fair if rather unusual man, and one who will tolerate no nonsense in the court. Whistler began question. Boyle, merely ill his father, revealed himself to be an angry brute of a man who hated Atticus for supposedly humiliating him. James in his tears when the verdict is revealed as he is forced to face for the first time the full injustice of the law. Atticus is moved when the black community leave food at his house as a way of thanking him for defending Tom Robinson. Atticus reacts calmly and focuses instead on Tom Robinson's appeal. Scout is disgusted to discover that women are not allowed to sit on a jury, whilst Jem finally comes to the realization that Boo Ridley stayed indoors because he actually wants to. Whilst she has been in Maycomb, Aunt Alexandra has been attending many missionary teas, and finally it is time for her to host her own. And she listened listless, the woman talking about raising money for African children. The tea is interrupted by Atticus with the news that the Tom has tried to escape and been killed. Scout is remembering what Dill told her about the movement. Helen Robinson discovered her husband was dead. Dill and Jem were in the car when Atticus told her and she fainted, just fell down in the dirt like a giant with a big foot just came along and stepped on her. Bob Ewell continues to make threat against the Finch family and Judge Taylor's home is broken into. The school decided to celebrate Halloween by holding a pageant in the auditorium. Scout is appeared to as a piece of cured ham. When Jem and Scout are on the way home from the pigeon, Scout is still wearing costume, making it a little difficult for her to walk, especially as she left her shoes behind. Suddenly they are attacked and Jem is forced to the ground. In the darkness, Scout finds it difficult to see what is going on, knowing only that someone appears to have stopped their attacker. She stops someone crying and Jem towards her house and follows them, arriving home safely. Jem is put to bed with a broken arm and their attacker is revealed when Boyle is found dead by the sheriff Hecate. A knife through his ribs, Scout is amazed to discover that the man who rescued her and carried Jem back to the house is Boo Ridley. Atticus tells her that Boo Ridley's is Arthur, real name. Even though Atticus believes it is Jem who accidentally killed Boyle, he is determined that the cause of Earl's death must not be hushed up. But Hecate, who realizes it actually Boo, insists that everyone will be told that Boyle fell on his knife. Atticus is forced to agree, knowing that Boo could never cope with the publicity that would follow. Scout help Boo back to his home. And at last, the novel ends with the Atticus sitting in Jem's room waiting for him to wake the following morning. He would be there all the night and he would be there when Jem waked up in the morning. Thank you.